is going on, everybody? It is DylanLasagna here for another week, another episode of DylanLasagna Live, episode number 29. And man, it was kind of a small, it was going to be a small episode today, but actually things kind of picked up yesterday. We're going to get into that in just a little bit, but if you haven't watched last week's episode, I encourage you all to do so. You can find that on the channel, and I encourage you all to watch all the previous episodes if you haven't already on my DylanLasagna channel. That's where all DylanLasagna Live episodes have been, always been. I'm just kidding. Three of the past episodes were on a now defunct DylanLasagna Live channel. So go ahead and give it a watch. I encourage you all to do it. For those of you watching, whether you are watching it live or watching the replay, I appreciate all of your support, and I'm just glad you're all watching. I encourage you to watch it all. Watch it through the whole way through, especially because of what YouTube is doing, and how YouTube continues to screw things up for not just content creators but for themselves. But anyhow, that's one of the topics we're getting into today. YouTube being forced to comply with COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act of 2000. We're also going to get into CM Punk's return to wrestling, to WWE, after a 5-year hiatus. So we're going to get into that. And yeah, that's pretty much all. Actually, that's not all we're going to get into, because because this week's random tidbits were actually quite aplenty. I know it's only 2 random tidbits, but there's actually more to it. There's like a lot of detail into it this week. So the first random tidbit of the week goes to Seth Rollins. There was a report going around from Randall Ortman of Cage Side Seats, from the people, like the attendees in London, that WWE altered the crowd reaction for Seth Rollins in post-production for the taped Raw show this week. Obviously, I didn't watch Raw because I was watching the really fun Seahawks 49ers game. A shame that the Niners lost. But I digress. It was just kind of I'm not really surprised, to be honest, because we've seen WWE do this in the past with Roman Reigns. We've seen them like auto-tune cheers, like pitch-in cheers in the past. So doing this with Seth Rollins is not surprising, but for a wrestler like Seth Rollins, who, although he doesn't have any character, like he doesn't have a persona, yet he's a really great wrestler, it's kind of sad to see, you know? It really is. So it's, if you don't know what crowd reaction altering is, it's pretty much where it's like the crowd, when the crowd is actually booing Seth Rollins, WWE is just pretty much putting in crowd cheers instead. So it's like as if the crowd is cheering Seth Rollins when the crowd was not, and it was kind of painfully obvious to see, you know. And it's a shame, you know, the crack smoking creative can't seem to get Seth Rollins over. I mean, I don't blame Seth Rollins in any way, because when it matters most, he can cut a good promo. Again, when it matters most, he can really wrestle a great match. But I don't know. I guess WWE's overexposing him. He's becoming like a vanilla character. I say worse so than the John Cena we saw from 2008. I won't even say 2005 and 6, because at least John Cena had his Thugonomics character somewhat back then. But I'd say 2006, or no, 2008. I digress. 2008, 2013, and a mix of the Roman Reigns we saw of 2015 to 2018 before he got diagnosed with leukemia. Except with Rollins, he has no character arc. He has no relation with the crowd. It sucks. It really does. I mean, Cena, at least, has embraced the boos. Like, he made it a part of his act. He's embraced the, like, you know, the singing Cena sucks chants. Roman Reigns, ever since he came back, it's like he barely noticed the boos anymore. Like, not a lot of people, like, I don't know, it varies from crowd to crowd, but not a lot of people boo him anymore. Either because, like, they really respect him for the leukemia thing, or two, they just can't find a reason too much to care to boo him. And plus, he's, like, I guess WWE's like trying to slow build him back to the main event by keeping him in the mid card. But it's kind of surprising to see that Roman Reigns hasn't been in the main event yet. But again, this is more about Seth Rollins and less about them. It's just, again, not surprising that WWE tried or is doing this now with Seth Rollins in an attempt to make him a face of the company, when they can't even get him over, when he can't get the crowd over despite the material presented to him. It's disappointing. It really is. Like, he had, after he won the title from Brock Lesnar at Mania, he got stuck in the feud with Baron Corbin, that obviously never ended, and plus it got the unnecessary need for Becky Lynch, which also hurt Becky Lynch. Then we got Brock Lesnar again, and then after he beat Brock Lesnar again, then WWE had to unnecessarily put him, I'm sorry to say it, they had to unnecessarily put Seth Rollins with Bray Wyatt, who was red hot as hell, but at the same time, it hurt Bray Wyatt in some sense. I mean, at least he has a universal title, but it hurts Seth Rollins too, because now he was just getting booed like hell, and Bray Wyatt was, I don't know, I don't know if he's really doing much now, but that could change with what he's doing with Daniel Bryan. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Seth Rollins is not interesting anymore, at least from a character standpoint. And honestly, bitching and moaning on Twitter doesn't make things any better for Seth Rollins. And I don't know how much longer WWE can keep up with Seth Rollins doing that. And eventually, sooner or later, Seth is gonna be slowly, I mean, I don't want this to happen to Seth, but there could be a scenario that Seth Rollins could find himself much down on the totem pole of main event guys. He could be down on the mid card, and then eventually not even used. All because of WWE's painful attempts to try to get him over, and once they can't get him over, they'll push him aside. Anyway, now let's get on to the hold on. Anyway, let's get on to some actual business that has turned into one of the main topics of this show. One of the other random tidbits that I originally didn't have, but it turned into one of the main topics of the show for today, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers Cleveland Brown Thursday night football game. Whether or not you're a sports fan, this piqued your interest, like, in some way, in some form, for all kinds of reasons. But let's first talk about the game itself, because I feel like a lot of people are not talking about that in any way. And let me just say, the Ravens are completely gonna win this division, like, no question. And the Thursday night game just solidified that. Like, it was nice that the Pittsburgh Steelers went on a 4-game winning streak after losing to us. But Mason Rudolph sucked ass on Thursday. 4 picks, like, more than half of them were wide open. The last interception was just, I know there was pressure in his face, but throw the ball out of bounds, dude. He could have thrown it out of bounds, but he elected to throw it to a wide open defender for an easy, like, interception, gift wrapped in, like, the best, like, Christmas wrapping in the world. But that was Mason Rudolph's night. He also got sacked plenty of times and made really bad throws, underthrown and overthrown. And that was even when Juju Smith-Schuster was in the game. And then when he got out of the game, because the Browns are dirty as hell, because Juju Smith-Schuster got knocked out of the game via a helmet-to-helmet hit from one of the Browns defenders. I can't remember the name. And then another Steelers receiver also got knocked out via a helmet-to-helmet hit. Then Baker Mayfield had no one else to... Oh, no, not Baker Mayfield. Mason Rudolph had no one else to throw to. So, injuries were piling up for the Steelers. So, I just don't see them, like, progressing as a playoff team any further. I mean, even then, like, realistically, without Big Ben or, like, any big playmakers, they weren't going to be a playoff team anyway. And speaking of the Browns, this win didn't convince me either. Not because what happened at the end of the game, because what happened during it. You played a bad Pittsburgh Steelers team. You couldn't even take advantage of the turnovers. If they had scored in the red zone, and if the kicker wasn't so bad at his job, like, aside from the extra points, the score would have been much bigger. Baker Mayfield threw 2 touchdowns to I might be wrong here, but the 2 touchdowns I saw were to Jarvis Landry and the tight end. I don't remember his name. And then, but Baker Mayfield was still not getting the connection with Odell Beckham when he, at this point in the season, he needs to. He was overthrowing him still. That connection's not there. And I forgot Kareem Hunt was on the Browns now. And yet, Freddie Kitchens, I don't know, he can't seem to figure out how to use Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt yet. Because that's like a big time combination there. And yet, Freddie Kitchens doesn't know what he's doing. But that was the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they won the game, but it was what happened after the game was the big story. That was the big story there. The Browns were up 21 to 7. Sorry, hold on. The Browns were up 21 to 7 with 8 seconds left. Yeah, you read that right. 8 seconds left when defensive end Myles Garrett, the pass rusher for the Browns, decided to do something Browns like. When Mason Rudolph got rid of the ball, Myles Garrett hit Rudolph late, and it was clear that Garrett was really hugging it, like wrestling him down, and when he wrestled him down, he was not getting off him, and Rudolph was pissed. Yeah, I would be pissed too, like if he wouldn't get off, but still that's no excuse for what happened next. That was because but before I get into that, by the way, that late hit should have been a penalty, which was never called. Again, because of what's going to happen next. Mason Rudolph was trying to wrestle off Myles Garrett, and then once he finally wrestled him off, Myles Garrett pulled off Mason Rudolph's helmet, and then when Mason Rudolph ran towards him trying to get his helmet back, Myles Garrett swung it and swung Mason Rudolph's head and tried to hit him he did hit him in the head. Fortunately, it was on the soft side of the head, but still, if that was the crown of the head, oh dear Lord, this would be an entirely different story that we'd be talking about here. Mason Rudolph would have been knocked out. He would have been bleeding. I think the punishment that the NFL would have given would have been much more severe to Myles Garrett. It is just bad. It was very bad. But fortunately, thank goodness that Mason Rudolph's okay. But still, that was a line that was completely crossed by Myles Garrett. But everything else after that got completely out of control. That was because in reaction to Garrett hitting Mason Rudolph in the head with his helmet, with Rudolph's helmet, offensive lineman David DeCastro and Marquise Pouncey attacked Garrett. They punched him. Pouncey kicked him in the head. That was pretty intense. And then defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi. I'm butchering that really badly. He pushed Mason Rudolph from behind, and Mason Rudolph was confronting him, but he was being held back by a bunch of Steelers players. It was very ugly. It was just very chaotic from the get-go. It turned into an all-out WWE match. It was just intense. It was very crazy to say the least. So in case you don't know what I'm referring to, I'm gonna pull it up here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Alright, there we go. So there is Mason Rudolph. There's the scene of the crime. Mason Rudolph is getting his head smacked by Myles Garrett with his own helmet, and just look at the irony here. Mason Rudolph, helmetless, is getting smacked by Garrett, who has all of his gear on, and the NFL is trying to promote player safety when this happens. Oh man, the league we're in. That was unfortunately the only exciting thing coming out of this game, because everything else that happened before it sucked. It really did. Now, your first reaction might be, Myles Garrett should be suspended for the rest of the season for what he did. No. He should be banned from the league. He should be released from the Browns, damn it. Now, I agree with that first statement. Myles Garrett should be suspended for what he did. There's no denying that hitting another person in the head with their helmet when you have all your helmet on is a danger, and you could have severely injured them, or worse, even killed them, is very bad. But god damn it, it's like we have to look this at both sides. Let's look at this from the Steelers side. There's clearly more to it. Let's actually watch it. Let's actually watch what happened here. Alright, I'm gonna pull it up on the Steelers and Browns. Gonna switch it to that. There we go. Alright, we're gonna watch a part of the Steelers and Browns fight. I'm probably gonna get copyrighted by the NFL, but who gives a damn? I'm trying to prove a point here. Alright, here we go. It's in slow-mo, so you can all see what's gonna happen. So Myles Garrett's taking him down, and see right there, I understand that's a reactionary move by Mason Rudolph, but it can be argued that Mason Rudolph started the fight. So Garrett showboated a little and didn't let go of Rudolph. But Rudolph may have been a little bit of a Grinch on Christmas himself and tried to rip off the helmet of Garrett in retaliation for that. Or then again, as Adam Schefter reported on SportsCenter this morning, he probably had his finger stuck in Garrett's head, and that's why he was grabbing his helmet the way he did. They were also saying that Rudolph dick kicked him, kicked him in the nuts. But honestly, just looking at it, let's go to it. Yeah, right here. Honestly, I think he was just you're not really dick kicking him. Honestly, he's just trying to push him away because, I know the ref's butt is in the way, but it's painfully obvious he's trying to push him away, and especially when the Steelers' offensive line is failing badly at trying to get Garrett off of him. But still, going back to it, it's all right. So Garrett's pulling him down, but it's just Mason Rudolph. It's I don't care if it's reactionary. He's showing poor sportsmanship himself. He starts this. He tries to start this whole thing by pulling off Garrett's helmet, and if you're trying to lose a fight, you're gonna lose it by this. He's your helmet's gonna get ripped off. And I don't condone what Myles Garrett did, but shit. It's let's not ignore what Mason Rudolph did too. Let's not ignore what Mason Rudolph did by trying to rip off Myles Garrett's helmet. it's like it could have been a completely different story here if Mason Rudolph ripped off Myles Garrett's helmet and the two were trading fists with each other without helmets. That could have been a completely different story here. And imagine if they were hitting each other with with their helmets without them like wearing helmets. Do you all get what I'm saying here? It's like they both take each other's helmets off like in a terrible manner, and then they're trading fists with one another like without protection, and then it's like they're so pissed at each other that they grab each other's helmet and like have a helmet war with one another. That's a terrible precinct set in the for the NFL. So, what's happened to everyone involved? Well, earlier today, the NFL announced that Myles Garrett's been suspended indefinitely. They said without pay at minimum the regular season and the postseason. That's if the Browns even make the postseason. I say indefinitely a little bit ingenuinely because I think it could be more depending on what the league does. Like, I don't know, but I think it's pretty much a done deal. It's just like the rest of the season. But again, you don't know what the league will do. Steelers center Marcus Pouncey gets a 3-game suspension for punching and kicking Garrett. Joby gets suspended for the Browns-Dolphins game because he pushed Mason Rudolph. David DeCastro and Mason Rudolph were not given suspensions, although Rudolph was fined by the NFL for the fight. I think Mason Rudolph does deserve a fine, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he doesn't warrant a suspension though, because he kind of warranted the fine. He was kind of asking for it too. I don't know if he was asking for it to be. I take that back, but it's just kind of odd to me that he was trying to rip the helmet off of Myles Garrett, and then I know he was trying to get it back, but it's just like he was during fights with like the a Ginobili too. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but at least like a fine is a fine, suspensions are suspensions. It was just an ugly scene all around, but I mean, it was kind of exciting too at the same time. Plus, if you want a worse brawl than that, here I'll give you something even worse than that. Here, I'm not gonna show it to you. I mean, I'm not gonna paste it. Here. I recommend all of you watching the I recommend each and every one of you watch the Pacers Pistons brawl from 2004. At least, well, that one was far worse and had far more consequences than this game had. I mean, yeah, Mason Rudolph did get hit in the head, but fans actually got physical with the players. So that was just far worse than what we saw on Thursday night. I mean, I don't really have much else to say about this, and I've kind of been talking about this for quite a while now, but I don't know. It's like I kind of miss this intensity in a rivalry, but I don't know. I agree with Baker Mayfield on this one. It's just like it's completely unnecessary. Again, Garrett deserves what he got with the suspension, but at the same time, I feel like Rudolph also had a hand in it. Mason Rudolph also had a hand in it as well. So both the Steelers and the Browns were at fault here, and they were fined $250,000 right away. And I don't know. It's just like more should have been given to Mason Rudolph. I mean, it's like I hate to say it, but it's kind of true. It's kind of true. Now, on a more, I guess, optimistic note, CM Punk made his return to WWE, or should I say, he made his debut on Fox. And this was the surprise of many. Maybe a select few were not surprised at all at his return, but to the surprise of many, CM Punk, after 5 years away from WWE programming, returned to WWE on WWE Backstage on FS1 Tuesday night. The last time we heard of CM Punk in WWE was when he walked out in January 2014, the night after the Royal Rumble of that year. A lot of you know what happened behind the scenes. All of us wrestling fans knew what happened, but for those of you who don't, for those of you unaware of CM Punk, pretty much what happened was CM Punk lost his smile with wrestling. He didn't have the passion for it anymore. He was hurt. He was angry. He was wrestling hurt. He even had to wrestle with a stealth infection. That could have killed him. And once he walked out, he fixed that, and he was living healthy again. And after that, he just claimed he didn't want to. He was retired, healthy, and happy. But then when he went on the Colt Cabana podcast, he said that he was fired on his wedding, or before that, he was suspended by WWE for 2 months for walking out. Then when he was trying to get a check by WWE, he was given runarounds by company executives, and then WWE fired him on his wedding day with AJ Lee in June 2014, which was for him was the last straw and his boiling point, and they were never WWE and CM Punk never worked with each other again until this point. And then we all know what CM Punk has done. If you followed him religiously, he had a failed UFC career, 0-2, lost by submission and the unanimous decision. Became an analyst for MMA and also became a comic book writer. But the impact he had in WWE and in wrestling, it's still long lasting, you know. People still chant for CM Punk when things don't go their way, or when things really, really suck, especially in 2019 and 2018, things really, really suck. So people still chant that. So most fans were clamoring for their golden boy of wrestling to return. Well, here we are in 2019. CM Punk is back. Oh, hold on one second. As you can see, the battery's about to die on this camera, so give me 1 second. Can you hear me now? Alright, now you can hear me. Alright, I had to replace the battery on my camera. Probably have to get one of those dummy batteries eventually. But anyway, as I was saying, Punk is finally back in the WWE. And, what was I gonna say after that? Oh yeah. But we gotta make one thing clear. He is with Fox, and Fox only, and not with WWE. Let's just make that clear right now. There's no twisting it, or turning it, or spin, or, hold on. Or spinning it. There's none of that. I'm happy to see CM Punk back, but I don't want to see people saying that he's like back with WWE. He's on WWE programming, but let's remember, he's with Fox, with WWE on Fox Sports, not with Raw, not with SmackDown, but with WWE on Fox Sports, under that Disney what you have you. But details came out of WWE and Fox and CM Punk really kept secret with this. Even Renee Young was very secretive of this. I was watching like a behind the scenes of it, and man, they did a really good job of keeping it secret. So the deal with Fox and CM Punk began back in September when they were doing camera testing for the show, which Punk confirmed he did. But the deal didn't become official until a few days ago, according to Matt Boom of E-Wrestling. Also, according to Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, like I said, everyone except Renee Young was kept out of the loop of Punk's return, so it wouldn't be leaked. And then, like I said, Punk's only working for Fox, and WWE gave them their blessing. They approved it. They said the okay, and now you see all these reactions of CM Punk's back with WWE and all that stuff. But let's make it clear, he's only back with Fox. So I guess CM Punk's the Troy Aikman of Fox Sports now, or of WWE now, of WWE on Fox now. But in all honesty, I think if CM Punk really wanted to be back with WWE, I honestly wouldn't mind. I honestly wouldn't care. Enough time has passed since he walked out of WWE, since he left on bad terms. I know Triple H has said he would like CM Punk back in WWE. I know Vince has said he would like Punk back in WWE. Punk himself said he would want to be he would want to move past the walkout. All time heals all wounds. If you want to bury the past, then bury the damn thing. I guess being on Fox for Punk would at least help Vince, Triple H, and Punk kind of rebuild the trust between them, very slowly. And then if Punk wants to wrestle again, maybe just maybe he can be he can sign again. I don't know. And then I think it was reported a little bit earlier this year that All Elite Wrestling was trying to get CM Punk, but for a large amount of money, but Punk didn't want them. Punk didn't want to sign, and I guess it was because I don't know. I guess he trusts WWE more, despite his history with them, and because AEW was just starting and he was unsure. But I don't know. I mean, it would too, despite how well AEW is doing. But let's be real, AEW is still finding its footing. I mean, that's all I can say about that. So either way, although it's no sure thing that CM Punk will be making a wrestling comeback now that he's with Fox, or like, yeah, nowadays with Fox. But it's just nice to see him back on a WWE TV setting, even, yeah, like I said, even if it's just with Fox. And I just hope through time that he will that through time he will make up with Vince and Triple H. Hold on one second. This thing is bugging me sometimes, you know. There we go. Alright, let's wrap up this show with a I don't like ending shows on a downer, but we have to talk about these changes coming to YouTube. You know, if you do follow me on YouTube a lot, you know I do this for fun. I do, like, I will admit, I have admitted plenty of times that I applied for monetization. The last time I talked to all of you about it, I failed, but since May, my channel has been monetized. You guys probably notice it since there are ads running on my videos, but I digress. I seriously don't give a shit about the ads running. The only reason I am monetized is just to get try to get more exposure for the channel, to try to bring in more active subscribers and all that. And I'm just trying to make this channel grow and thrive. The monetization is just like a second, small minor boost. Now, the problem with the new terms of service and that's rolling out is just that politics are getting involved with something I've been doing, something that I love for the past 9 years. And you know how I feel about politics. I hate them. I really do. But damn it, YouTube had to screw it all up. It's like they continue to dig their own grave, for fuck's sake. And for the past 4 days, I've been trying to comprehend these new terms of service. I've been watching like some of the live streamers I'm subscribed to, but I just don't get it. It's like they explain it, but I don't know. I still don't get it. So let's go over the terms of service here. Hold on, let me pull it up on my screen. Okay. So here are the new YouTube's terms of service effective December 10th, 2019. So pretty much next month. So I don't get any of this at all. But obviously you have to be 13 years or older to use the service. And this is like, this was pretty much the same to me when I first started, but now here's where things get kind of concerning for me. it's this section. This section right here, where I get very confused and very scared at the same time. Let's zoom in right there. Terminations by YouTube for service changes. YouTube may terminate your access on your Google, or your Google account's access to all or part of the service if YouTube believes in its sole discretion that provision of the service to you is no longer commercially applicable. So I've been trying to find out some things about this, and I can't find anything. But I don't know. I found this little tweet here saying from Christian Miracle that's saying YouTube has new terms of service on December 10th, December 10th. They basically say that channels don't make enough money, they will possibly terminate them. And the team YouTube replied to clarify there are no new rights in our terms of service to terminate an account because it's not making money. As before, we may discontinue certain YouTube features or parts of the service. For example, if they're outdated or have low usage, this does not impact creators, viewers in any new ways. So that's where it kind of throws me off a bit. It's like, are they gonna terminate channels that don't make enough money? Or because, like, at the same time, it says like it says here, YouTube may terminate your access if YouTube believes that provision of the service to you is no longer commercially viable. So that could also fall under channels that are not monetized, like that don't have monetization enabled, that choose not to participate in the YouTube Partner Program. So are you saying that they could also be terminated or lose access to certain features? If true, then that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. And it's like, I don't know. That could be a lot of channels that could be getting the boot, and I'm scared that I could fall into that boot. That's pretty scary. And I don't know. But this is the big thing. This is the big thing that has people talking right here in the terms. The compliance of COPPA. What is COPPA exactly? Well, COPPA is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act rule. What is the COPPA? Well, the COPPA is a rule implemented by the Federal Trade Commission, where sites are forbidden from collecting personal information on children without the consent of parents first. YouTube violated those rules, and as such, the Federal Trade Commission fined them $170 million for violating COPPA because YouTube collected personal information from minors, including viewers of child-directed channels, and it collected personal information of a minor's viewing history so that it can deliver targeted ads to viewers of such channels. In addition to the fine, the FTC forced YouTube to develop a system that we as content creators now have to abide by, whether we like it or not. A system that requires us to identify child-directed content on the site. All this according to the FTC website that you see here. The problem with this is just like, there are too many channels that aren't PewDiePie, that aren't Markiplier, that aren't big celebrity channels like Jimmy Fallon, CNN, ESPN, and they're just gonna suffer from this. Like, especially the channels that are apparently gonna that now require you to mark your videos as made for kids. Especially some of the channels that I watch personally. Let me see here. No, that's not it. That's not it either. Oh yeah, here. That's because according to The Verge, the YouTube support page, and from a tweet from Chaos, you could lose a lot of features actually, more than the ones just here. But these are just a list of them. Child channels and some of the creators I watch could be in for a lot of disadvantages. They could lose some features aside from the targeted ads, meaning they lose ads directed for the age range of their viewers. They could lose the comment sections of their videos, but again, that was already gone because of that little Matt what is like scandal, the predatory predatory comments in those little kids vlogs that happened earlier this year. Videos set to made for kids could also lose the cards, end screens, the notification bell, the community tab, YouTube stories, the ability to save to watch later and save to playlist. So you pretty much lose your voice as a viewer and as a content creator. And at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it's just like very baffling. But it also gets better from here. It gets better from here. Better. According to Makina Kelly and Julia Alexander of The Verge, let's see here. Oh, right here, the big boo boo, right here. Let's go to it. The FTC could sue individual channel owners who abuse the labeling system, and if the FTC does take action, it'll fall on channel owners and will be selective and heavy-handed. The Verge also points out that each mislabeled video, if you mislabel a video as made for kids when it's not, you could be charged up to $42,000. What the fuck? That's insane. And that charge could quickly grow. It is also stated that it is stated that the FTC could focus on high-profile cases against popular channels, but I'm personally scared that smaller channels could be affected by this too. Because my channel I've already set to as not made for kids, but some of the videos that I made in the past, like the very first video I did, the how to get a girl to like you, obviously that's not for kids. The Darth Vader goes bananas, that's not made for kids, but the little random figure skit videos, like the cul-de-sac creek one with Shawn Michaels in the Shawn Michaels figure. What else was there? The Baskety McBallhead video. I think the Mr. McMahon impersonator video, you could consider that as for kids, but I personally don't think so. Even the WWE school videos, like you can't really consider that for kids, can it? Can you? I don't know. It's like all the WWE figure videos that I did back in the day, like I'm scared it could be that those could be labeled for kids. It's pretty scary when you think about it. Oh my god. But anyway, let's continue reading into this. YouTube is also pledged to use a machine learning and flagging all the algorithms to locate mislabeled child-directed videos, which creators won't be able to appeal. And yet, you can't like you can't freaking appeal properly copyright claims that clearly fall under fair use. You freaking Sony Viacom assholes. I don't know. This gets much more insane and downhill from here. So let me go to this. Okay. I think that's it. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Excuse me. So starting on Tuesday, you have to start labeling your videos as whether or not it's made for kids in compliance to COPPA. So some of the factors determining whether or not it's child directed include if children are the primary audience, and some of those other factors include the subject matter, whether children are your intended or actual audience, whether the video includes child actors, whether the video include characters, celebrities, or toys appealing to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. Are you fucking kidding me? So the WWE figures videos could fall under made for kids. I don't know, guys. I might have to delete that. Fuck. Whether the language of the video is intended for children to understand, whether the video includes activities that appeal to children, such as play acting, that's clearly not what my videos are for. Whether they include a good song or... I can't even read the rest of this, man. This is honestly too depressing to read. Especially the fourth one. Whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children. I don't think WWE figures appeal, like they do appeal to children, but I don't think the way I used them back in the day appeal to children. But I don't know, YouTube might fuck that up too, and like set the video as made for kids because it's stupid. I mean, like, I don't know. I can't say if it's a positive note because, like, I mean, there's options that you can, like, manually label your videos as made as kid or adult targeted on a video basis, on a video by video basis, or you can set your channel as such. I don't know. I'm just like very baffled by this. So it's like YouTubers dealt with the adpocalypse, where it's like after that you couldn't say bad words. Like a lot of like creators that I've watched before, I got so pissed at them because they were selling out because they had to censor all the bad words they were saying and all the stuff that was in the original source material. Like, I don't want to like say the reactor's name because there's gonna be a shitstorm in the comments because the little spinach build video that I posted over almost a year ago, or actually a year ago, is gonna be brought up. The sex joke event horizon reaction that I did, the YouTuber that often comes up in that reaction that I did is Charmix. Yeah, he had to censor a lot of shit in that video, in his reaction videos since like 2017, 2018, because the adpocalypse and like YouTube would demonetize, censor words, sexual content, a lot of things that were deemed non-advertiser friendly, but even then, it's just like the stuff I do here, it's like, it's fine. Like, I don't know why, but I guess I'm just lucky. But it's just like this though. This thing is just like, I don't know. It's just like, it's kind of a double standard here. It's like, you can't say bad words now, but then you also can't be too family friendly. Or otherwise you get demonetized and you get fined. Plus, on top of that, like, on top of the, you can't say bad shit, you can't say bad or offensive shit, or show bad shit, and you'll also get a $42,000 fine. I don't know, man. It's like these terms of service are so damn confusing, and it's honestly a shame of that to what YouTube has become. It's like, I know it's like we can't go back to the good old times. Like, it's too late for that. It used to be a place for broadcasting yourself, but now it's become a place where celebrities, like, it's become another TV movie outlet 2.0 for celebrities, brands, sports highlights, political debate highlights, show up here and there and get the most view, like, and steal all the views from the people that actually made YouTube popular in the first place. And I just don't know who to blame here. Is there even anyone to blame in this? Is it the parents? Is it the kids? Is it the people that make the videos on YouTube? Is it YouTube themselves? I mean, like, it could be YouTube because they all got us into this mess. Is it the FTC? Let me know who's to blame here. Let me know who's to blame. But like I said earlier, if you're not Pewds, if you're not Smosh, and by the way, I'm kind of disappointed that they're not talking about this. And also, if you're not a celebrity channel like a Jimmy Fallon or James Conan or The Rock, no disrespect to The Rock or anything, but each and every family-friendly and child content creator like Ryan's Toy Review, and that's pretty much the big name example that I can give there. I don't know, I feel like they're gonna get screwed in the ass here. They're gonna lose, like, a lot of ad money here. And I just hope they start Patreons. I just hope they do. And I hope they have Patreons. I don't know, I feel like it's just not bad for those channels. It's probably gonna be bad for mature channels as well, because of the other term of service that's mentioned here, because of the fact that your channel, like, channels could be deleted, terminated if they're not commercially viable. like I mentioned earlier, even though I'm monetized, my content is monetized, I still don't give two shits about it being monetized and all that. I care about what content I bring to you all, and it's just about having fun here. But the facts I'm spewing out is not so fun, and it's because of YouTube making this like a shithole, and because of the shithole that they're putting themselves in. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't. I've been doing YouTube for 9 years. Like 2020, July of 2020, it's gonna be 10 if I even make it there. My channel doesn't get terminated for not being commercially viable. I have 5K subs, but a lot of that was partially due to the reactions and to the My Little Pony stuff. But other than that, it's just like YouTube was trying to suppress the content that I do on the platform, and to the point where it's not reaching to people. I'm not, like, the subs are not active. It's like the numbers, like the subscriber count that you see on my channel doesn't even matter. All I even care about at this point is how many of you actually watch my content. It's like how many of you care about my content, how many of you actually watch it from beginning to end, how many of you liked it, how many of you dislike it, how many of you share it with your friends, how many of you share it to your family members, to strangers, to your co-workers, how many of you leave a comment. It just makes my day, you know. It really does. And how many people subscribe to the channel and actually participate in things like DylanLasagna Live and even the premieres of new videos when I actually do them. But I don't know. I guess they just really want, like, big time celebrities. They just want content creators that think they're good, or, like, I don't know. They just want, like, creators that think they're good, but honestly they're not that great. And it's like the content creators, like the OG Smosh, Fred, and like many more, like Flying Kitty, Kenny Pass. It's just like a lot of their content just gets suppressed because all the celebrity content that's on YouTube. And plus, not only that, YouTube's now just a place full of one-liners, niches, and it's just pretty much become a cable subscription 2.0, all to fit YouTube's agenda. I don't know. It's just like, even though I have my channel set as not made for kids, I don't know. Like, I don't know whether or not these new terms of service are going to affect my channel in a way where I'm going to lose all my features, or even worse, my channel goes away. I'm still hopeful that my channel stays come December 10th, after December 10th. And I just hope that all of you watching, and that everyone that has been subbed and following me since day one, stay optimistic with me. And again, as I mentioned earlier, everyone, like, actively, like, participates and actively, like, watches all the videos. And I don't know, it's just like, if December 10th is the end for for my stuff on YouTube. I honestly don't know what to do next, you know? I honestly don't know. There is Twitch. I could continue doing Lasagna Live there, but it's like Twitch is not really a place for uploading like actual videos, you know? It's like the discussions that I do, the reaction videos that I do, it's like it's not really a place for that. There is Vimeo, but you also have to comply with copyright laws there because it's in the US from what I heard. I don't know. I just really don't know what to do. It's like YouTube was kind of like my home for 9 years. Even though I like made content like here and there, especially in the early years, and then I got serious for the better part of half of my time on YouTube. But still, it's just like YouTube means like a lot to me, especially when you're having fun with it, especially when it's just like, I don't know, it's just like, it's like, it's gonna, if YouTube really does decide to purge and like take my channel off the face of the earth, I don't know, it's gonna be very difficult for me to continue actually doing content like on another platform. Again, there is always Twitch, but it's just like there's other content I actually want to do besides streaming. I don't know, it's just gonna be a weird reality. And I don't know, YouTube is like, just seeing this, it killed a big chunk of my joy, like going through this topic, seeing this thing. The more I saw it, but I'm just gonna hope for the best, you know? That's all I can do at this point. Hope for the best. I hope all of you feel the same way, that nothing bad will happen to the channel. Nothing bad will all I can say is I hope the channel doesn't get buried. It doesn't like doesn't get killed permanently by YouTube after December 10th. And I don't know. This thing's just a whole bummer. It just sucks. Anyway, I'm sorry to kill the whole mood here. I'm sorry to kill the whole mood. But that pretty much wraps it up for DylanLasagna Live this week. Yeah, sorry to end things on such a sour and crappy note. I will be doing a Crash Team Racing stream, hopefully later tonight. If not, I know it's on the channel, but I'm put that as like a placeholder for tonight. If I don't do it tonight, hopefully I will do it tomorrow night. But just keep your notification bells ready. Hopefully they're on, because YouTube loves to fuck that up too. I hope to go much deeper into the Gold Prix. I don't know, I'm still kind of far into it. I'm still kind of far behind into it. The gold tier of the Neon Circus Grand Prix. Yeah, I'm kind of a little far into it. But I don't know. I just really encourage you all to share this in all my videos, including tonight's stream and the upcoming CTR stream, to your friends and to your family members, and to even all your co-workers and your strangers out there. So make sure you subscribe, like, dislike the stream, leave a comment, tap the bell, everything you can to support me and this channel. it really means a lot to me. It means the world. It means the world to me. It just really means a lot. Like for if you're all actively here. Next week, there's gonna be another kind of a shakeup. I've been pretty busy this month. Next week is DylanLasagna Live. I'm not sure if it's gonna be on Friday. It may be moved to Sunday. Because I'm gonna be going to an event Friday night, and I don't know if I kind of have to prepare for it, and I don't want to feel too pressured for it, but just stay updated if we're gonna do a DylanLasagna Live, like maybe early Friday morning, or like sometime around Sunday. So stay tuned for that. There will be a DylanLasagna Live next week, either Friday or Sunday, so stay tuned for that. So thank you all for watching. So if you missed anything in the stream, just click around. I pretty much talked about YouTube and the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, how it's gonna affect me and probably a bunch of people, potentially. I talked about the Steelers Browns incident yesterday. I talked about CM Punk's return to WWE programming, at least through Fox, and I talked about Seth Rollins' crowd reactions getting altered by WWE. Alright, everyone, that's gonna do it for this week's DylanLasagna Live, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. And always be delicious, and I will see you all next time, and I'm out.